What if the letter M or the crescent moon etched in your palm wasn't just a quirky line, but a mystical invitation, a signal that your body is already wired for transformation? In April 2025, those who notice these signs may be receiving a nudge from the unknown, a potential, a signal that a deeper intelligence is at play. This isn't superstition. This is about tapping into the mind-body system in a way that has been proven time and time again through measurable, observable, and repeatable results. This is the story of how belief changes biology. And it begins in your hands. Ancient cultures revered markings like the M or crescent moon as signs of destiny, spiritual awakening, intuition, transformation. But beyond myth, these symbols point us toward something far more grounded in science: the power of intention and belief to shape the body's chemical reality. You see, the lines in your hand don't control your future, but they can reflect the patterns of your state of being, your beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and unconscious programming. When these marks appear, they may simply be reminding you that it's time to wake up, to stop living in the past, and begin consciously creating your future. Picture this: you're sitting across from a trusted medical professional. They hand you a small, unassuming pill. It's white, round, perhaps a little chalky in texture. You're told it's a breakthrough medication, formulated to ease anxiety, alleviate depression, or soothe chronic pain. You nod, perhaps grateful or even hopeful. You swallow the pill, and then something extraordinary happens. Within hours or days, you start to feel a shift. The tightness in your chest eases. The low mood begins to lift. The ache in your body seems to dissolve. You feel lighter, clearer, perhaps even joyful. Weeks go by, and the transformation is undeniable. People around you start to notice. Your energy is different. Your face looks more relaxed. You begin to feel like your real self again, maybe even better. Later, you discover the truth. That pill had no active ingredient. It was made of sugar, inert, biochemically meaningless. But something happened. So the question begs itself: what was really responsible for the healing? The answer is, you were. Your body didn't wait for a foreign substance to induce healing. Your brain, your nervous system, your biology responded not to a chemical, but to an idea, a thought, a possibility that things were about to improve. And that belief, once accepted, activated one of the most sophisticated, intelligent systems in the known universe: the human body. You didn't just take the pill. You became the pharmacist. We often think of healing as something we receive: a medication, a treatment, a procedure. But what if healing isn't about receiving, but activating? Here's what happens inside you when belief is triggered. Your brain perceives a positive shift is coming. It begins releasing neurochemicals associated with well-being: dopamine, serotonin, endorphins. These chemicals start altering the biology of your cells. Your immune system gets a boost. Your stress response calms down. Your internal pharmacy goes to work. All of this, sparked by a thought that something good is happening. And this isn't spiritual poetry. It's measured, observable, and repeatable. Multiple double-blind, placebo-controlled studies have revealed that placebo treatments can produce results indistinguishable from actual pharmaceuticals. Whether it's pain relief, improved mood, even reversal of physical symptoms, a significant percentage of participants in placebo groups show real, measurable change. Let's be very clear: sugar cannot heal your body. But your belief that it could, can. So what is really happening here? Why does belief alone create change? To answer that, we must go beyond conventional biology and step into the realm of quantum possibility. The sugar pill, the placebo, is not doing anything by itself. What it represents, however, is a potential, a possibility in the field of infinite outcomes. It acts as a signal, a symbol that something is shifting. Your mind, upon receiving that symbol, interprets it as an invitation to change, and your body listens. Here's the beautiful part: the body doesn't differentiate between a chemical created in a lab and a chemical it makes itself. In fact, your body is capable of producing every chemical that any pharmaceutical company can manufacture, and more in perfect doses without side effects. This means that what the pill represents is far more powerful than what it contains. It symbolizes hope, relief, transformation. And once the mind accepts the message, the body gets to work producing the biology of that transformation. But here's where the magic truly unfolds. What if you didn't need the pill at all? What if you could skip the symbol entirely and generate the belief from within? What if instead of assigning your healing to something outside of you, to a substance, procedure, or person, you placed that power where it always was, inside you? This isn't fantasy. This is real. And people all over the world are waking up to the fact that they are the placebo. Let's go a layer deeper. The pill is a known. It's tangible. You can see it, touch it, swallow it. That tangibility makes it easy to trust, easy to believe that this will help me. But it also creates dependency. You become conditioned to associate relief with a thing outside of yourself. But healing through belief doesn't require the known. In fact, the greatest breakthroughs often come when you lean into the unknown. The unknown is a vision you cannot yet see, but can imagine. A future you haven't yet lived, but can feel. So here's the radical idea. You don't need a pill to represent healing. You can choose a vision, a possibility, a dream. Something that hasn't yet happened, but is absolutely real in the quantum field of infinite potentials. When you emotionally embrace that unknown, with the same depth of feeling you'd have if it already happened, you begin to shift your biology in real time. You send signals to your cells, your genes, your hormones, your immune system. You become a living match to the very outcome you seek, before it ever materializes. And when the inside changes, the outside follows. Now that we understand how belief initiates the healing process, we have to go a level deeper into the architecture of that belief. Your mind is not just a bundle of thoughts. It's a programming interface for your entire body. Every thought you think produces a cascade of biological consequences. Some thoughts tighten your muscles. Others boost your immunity. Some thoughts ignite fear, releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, while others initiate a relaxation response, triggering healing chemistry. Thoughts equals electrical signals. Emotions equals chemical signals. Put them together, and you are writing the code for how your body operates. Here's the model. Thoughts are the language of the brain. Emotions are the language of the body. Together, they create your state of being. If you think, I am sick, and feel worry, you reinforce a state of illness. If you think, I am healing, and feel gratitude, you reinforce a state of wellness. Every single moment, you're giving your biology instructions. Here's where most people unknowingly sabotage their transformation. The brain is a record of the past. Every experience you've ever had, every heartbreak, failure, embarrassment, and victory, is etched into neural patterns. Those patterns become familiar, comfortable, even if they're painful. The body? It remembers the chemistry of those experiences. That betrayal? You don't just remember the moment, you remember the emotional signature of it. The rush of cortisol, the racing heart, the tight throat. Your body memorized it. So even if nothing bad is happening now, your body might still be feeling as though it is. You're reacting to the memory of an experience, not the reality of the present moment. This is how we become addicted to our past, emotionally addicted. And here's the kicker. Your body, as the unconscious mind, doesn't know the difference between an actual event and one you're reliving in thought. So if you spend every day rehearsing the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, and reacting in the same ways, you are biologically living in the past. So how do you break the cycle? First, you must recognize the feedback loop. You think the same thought, nothing ever works out for me. You feel the same emotion, hopelessness, frustration. That emotion feeds the same thought. The cycle continues, and the body becomes entrained, conditioned to that state. To change, you must interrupt the loop. You must think greater than how you feel. You must teach your body what the future feels like, not based on memory, but imagination. And that's where elevated emotion comes in. Let's talk about the missing ingredient in most people's healing journey: emotion. We've established that intention matters. Saying, I want to heal, or I believe I can change, is powerful. But thought alone isn't enough. You have to marry it with feeling. But because feeling is what convinces the body that the event is happening now. Let's define the two keys to transformation. Clear intention, the vision, the destination. I am abundant. I am well. I am whole. Elevated emotion, the energy that propels the vision into motion. Gratitude, love, inspiration, joy, awe, empowerment. When you combine both, you send a coherent signal to your body and to the quantum field. You become a magnet for the very reality you envision. And when done repeatedly, you begin to recondition your nervous system for your desired future. Let's look at one of the clearest demonstrations of this principle in modern science. In multiple clinical studies, individuals diagnosed with depression were given placebo pills. These were not antidepressants, just inert substances. But the participants believed they were receiving real treatment. What happened? A staggering 81% experienced improvement equivalent to those receiving actual antidepressants. They felt better. They reported mood improvements, clearer thinking, greater motivation. But it didn't stop there. Functional MRI scans showed that the structure and activity of their brains changed. Areas previously underactive due to depression lit up with new activity. Neural networks reorganized themselves. The biology of depression was being reversed, not by a drug, but by belief. And some of the participants refused to believe they were given placebos. They were so convinced of their healing, so persuaded by their experience, that they believed the researchers had made a mistake. But there was no mistake. This was the healing power of belief in action. It's not the pill. It's you. It's your ability to imagine a better future, to feel it before it happens, to generate the chemistry of healing and hope inside your own body. You are the source. You are the one who can shift from survival to creation, from reaction to intention, from memorizing the past to rehearsing the future. And the process isn't complicated. It begins with the simplest decision, to believe in a new possibility, not because you need evidence first, but because your belief is the evidence. And once you begin, once you practice daily the alignment of thought and emotion, your body starts to follow. This isn't magic. This is biology. This isn't theory. This is transformation. And it's available to you right now. By now, the message is clear. Belief can change biology. But the next question becomes even more personal. How do we make this practical? How do we translate what we've learned from studies, from brain scans and biological data, into something we can actually use in the living, breathing arena of our daily lives? We often think of conditioning in terms of behavior, good habits, bad habits, rituals. But what if we told you that conditioning happens not just at the level of behavior, but at the level of biology? That your cells, your tissues, your hormones, even your immune system, could be conditioned to anticipate and prepare for a future experience long before it ever arrives? This is not speculation. It's the foundation of how transformation becomes sustainable. Let's revisit a classic experiment that forever changed our understanding of the mind-body connection: Pavlov's dogs. Ivan Pavlov was studying digestion in animals. He noticed that when he rang a bell just before feeding his dogs, they would begin to salivate. After several repetitions, the dogs began to associate the sound of the bell with food, even if no food was presented. The bell alone, a neutral stimulus, was enough to cause a biological response. This became known as classical conditioning. A previously neutral event becomes associated with a biological change through repetition and expectation. Now think about this in human terms. What if your morning cup of coffee triggers not just mental alertness, but emotional readiness? What if the sound of your alarm clock causes a spike in stress hormones before your feet even hit the floor? What if a familiar fragrance reminds you of heartbreak and drops your energy instantly? All of these are conditioned responses. And they're happening all the time. But here's the empowering part. You can condition yourself consciously. Imagine someone who has been dealing with chronic pain for years. They've been prescribed a round, blue pill that brings relief every time. Over time, their brain associates the shape, color, and even the time of day they take the pill with pain relief. The moment they see the pill, even before swallowing it, their body starts to produce endorphins, the body's natural painkillers. Now, imagine the same person is unknowingly switched to a placebo, a sugar pill made to look exactly like the blue pill. Miraculously, the pain still disappears, but because the body has been conditioned to anticipate the outcome, the pill is no longer necessary. The mere thought of it, the association of it, creates the biochemical change. This is not imagination. It's measurable. Blood tests, hormone panels, and brain scans confirm it. So let's turn this inward. Can you use this same principle, but instead of conditioning your body to react to an external pill, condition it to react to an internal vision? Yes, you can. And it's the doorway to sustainable, authentic, self-created change. Conditioning isn't just about repeating behavior. It's about pairing emotion with experience. Emotion is the glue that makes a memory stick. It's why we remember certain birthdays or breakups more vividly than others. The stronger the emotional charge, the more deeply the experience becomes hardwired into our nervous system. Now flip that equation. What if you could rehearse an imagined experience, a future moment of joy, love, success, or healing, and flood your body with the elevated emotions that come with it? If you do this enough, your body will begin to recognize that emotional state as familiar. You're no longer reacting to your past. You're conditioning your body to anticipate your future. This is how we biologically rehearse the future we want to live, not by wishing, but by feeling it into being. Let's break it down into practical steps. Choose a vision. Define a clear, vivid picture of the future you desire. Not just what it looks like, but what it feels like. Is it health? Freedom? Creativity? Identify the emotion. What elevated emotion would you feel if that future were already real? Gratitude? Inspiration? Confidence? Relief? Pair the vision with the emotion. This is the magic formula. It's not enough to think about the future. You must feel it as if it's happening now. Repeat it daily. Repetition creates familiarity. Familiarity becomes identity. Identity shapes behavior. Behavior reinforces biology. You're not faking it. You're teaching your body what the future feels like so that it can prepare for it, chemically, neurologically, energetically. The strongest conditioning tool of all is expectation. Expectation is not just hope, it's confidence plus belief. When you expect something, you're no longer questioning it. You're waiting for it. You're organizing your thoughts and behaviors around it. That's the difference between people who change and people who don't. Those who expect transformation invite it into their biology. Those who doubt it unconsciously resist it. So ask yourself, what are you conditioning your body to expect? More of the same, or something extraordinary? You may ask, but how can I expect something I've never experienced? That's the beauty of the mind. You don't need to have lived something to begin conditioning your biology for it. The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a real experience and one that's vividly imagined and emotionally rehearsed. In fact, studies show that athletes who mentally rehearse their routines can produce the same neurological activity in their brains as those who physically perform them. This means your mind can lay down the neural circuitry before the event ever happens, and your body can begin producing the chemistry to match it. When done consistently, your internal state begins to shift toward your vision. You begin to walk through the world as if your future is already unfolding. And when that alignment is strong enough, the world begins to respond. We all love certainty. It gives us a sense of control. Familiar routines, recognizable patterns, visible outcomes. These are the knowns of life. A pill is a known. A diagnosis is a known. The paycheck, a calendar, a to-do list. These are all ways we organize ourselves around certainty. But there's a shadow side to this comfort. The known is based on the past. It's built on what's already happened, what's already been seen, touched, tested. And if you live only in the known, you are living only from your memory. This is the trap of linear thinking, the belief that the future must look like the past. But transformation doesn't come from the known. It comes from the unknown, the field of infinite possibility. So what does it mean to place your belief in the unknown? It means surrendering your identity as someone defined by circumstances and choosing instead to be defined by potential. The unknown is the birthplace of creativity. of intuition, of miracles. It's the space where time collapses, logic dissolves, and the impossible becomes possible. To live from the unknown is not to be naive. It's to choose curiosity over fear, to trust that there is a deeper intelligence inside you and all around you that responds to intention. That's to say, I don't need to see it to believe it. I'll believe it and then I'll see it. I'm not waiting for my life to change before I feel good. I'll feel good, and then my life will begin to change. I'm not a victim of my past. I am a creator of my future. You wake up in the morning. The sun is rising. You close your eyes. Instead of going through your list of problems, you ask, what would it feel like to be completely free today? You begin to imagine your future. Not vaguely, but vividly. You see yourself vibrant and healthy. You feel yourself abundant and supported. You hear the conversations of success and love all around you. And most importantly, you feel the emotion. You generate the gratitude, the joy, the inspiration, not as a response to something happening, but as a cause. You do this not once, but daily. You revisit this vision not as a wish, but as a reality in progress. You condition your body to recognize that feeling as normal, familiar, expected. And one day, you wake up and realize you are no longer trying to become that version of yourself. You are living it. Here's what's happening on the inside when you emotionally engage with a vision of the unknown. The brain begins to rewire. Neural networks once devoted to fear, self-doubt, or limitation begin to atrophy. New ones form around creativity, hope, and belief. Your neurochemistry shifts. Elevated emotions flood your bloodstream. Cortisol drops. Immunity rises. Healing begins. Your electromagnetic field expands. The heart and brain produce stronger, more coherent waves. These waves are measurable, and they interact with the field around you. You broadcast a new signature. Your body is no longer broadcasting the frequency of your past. It's broadcasting the frequency of your desired future. And the field, the intelligence that connects all things, responds. Here's the question. Are you living as a reflection of your past? Or as a demonstration of your potential? Most people spend 95% of their day operating from unconscious programs. Thoughts, feelings, and actions recycled from yesterday. Same routines. Same emotional triggers. Same inner dialogue. If nothing changes internally, nothing can change externally. But when you begin each day by mentally and emotionally stepping into your future, you begin becoming that future. This is how you collapse time. This is how you accelerate change. This is how you turn the unknown into the known. Choosing the unknown is not always easy. It means giving up old stories, old excuses, old identities. It means letting go of, I've always been this way, of, this is just how life is, of, nothing ever works for me. It means becoming uncomfortable in service of a greater comfort. But the moment you emotionally connect to your future self, the moment you feel what it's like to be her or him or them, the discomfort becomes worth it. You're not just dreaming of a better life. You're becoming it in biology, in chemistry, in energy. And soon enough, your reality will have no choice but to catch up. Let's return to those marks on your hand. What if the M and the crescent moon are metaphors for this exact idea? M, a map, a marker, a mystery within you. Crescent moon, a sliver of light in the dark sky, a symbol of becoming, of possibility. These marks could be the universe's way of saying, you are ready. Ready to stop believing that healing only comes from outside. Ready to trust your inner pharmacy. Ready to define yourself by a vision of the future, not a memory of the past. Change doesn't come in a single moment. It comes through repetition, just like taking a placebo every day for 6 weeks. Every day becomes a rehearsal for who you are becoming. So what if you made it your practice, this April 2025, to wake up each morning and rehearse your new self? Visualize your future with such intensity, such vividness, such passion, that your body begins to believe it's already happening. Feel the emotions of your dream life, not after it comes true, but before. Because when you can feel it before it happens, that's when it begins to happen. You don't need a fake treatment. You don't need a substance to remind you who you are. You are the healer. You are the chemist. You are the one creating your own internal pharmacy every time you marry thought with feeling. The truth is this: you've been conditioned to believe in limitation, in waiting, in needing something outside of you. But your biology is begging for something else. It's asking you to believe in yourself. So if you're watching this in April 2025, and you notice those strange, mystical markings in your hand, take it as a sign. Not from the stars, but from yourself. The part of you that's always known you were more. Start today. Close your eyes. Set a clear intention. Feel an elevated emotion. See the future version of you. Rehearse it until it becomes familiar. Condition your body to believe it's already real. This is how healing happens. This is how transformation begins. And this is how you become the miracle.